No. These days, women know their worth. It's not that every woman thinks that she's a 10 out of 10. It's just that we don't base our value off of what a man thinks anymore. The only people that have a problem with that are insecure men who can't handle a woman who knows her worth. If you don't value a woman the same way they value themselves, that's okay. You're just not for her, bro.
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
No, women think they know their worth. You base this entirely on your feelings and comments from social media, as well as a society at large that tells you that because you possess two X chromosomes, you're somehow akin to the intergalactic space god Lobichard, and that is blasphemy of the fourth highest order against his glorious glory. And anytime a man rightfully calls you out on being delusional over this subject, you call him insecure, and I'm not entirely convinced you actually know the definition of that word, because it's not that self-respecting men can't handle a woman who knows her worth. It's that self-respecting men don't want to deal with a woman who has a hyperinflated ego. And despite the lack of a functioning brain cell inside your skull, there is a difference.
Just say you can't handle a bad who knows her worth, because if you could, you wouldn't be saying that. And in my opinion, there are ugly loser men everywhere. But everywhere I look, there is a beautiful, sophisticated, outgoing, hardworking.
I don't think any of that's true.
And there are ugly loser women all over the West as well. And in fact, I'm looking at one in this video. You're kind of attractive if you weren't using asteroid grade makeup and Instagram filters, but even if that wasn't the case, your attitude makes you instantly unattractive. It shows that you're just not a nice person, and if you're not nice, you're frankly not worth knowing. You want to think that because you work and because you have a college degree, that somehow makes you hardworking and sophisticated, but it really doesn't. All it means is that you have a minimum amount of debt of 80 grand with a specialty in a useless field like marketing or gender studies, and that you're willing to sell your time to the lowest bidder. That doesn't make you sophisticated. That makes you a rube. And I would tell you to look it up, but I am terrified to know what your idea is of a dictionary.
So you know what? If you're a woman and you're watching this, you should feel like a 10 out of 10. Because compared to some of these bozo men out there, we definitely are.
Hey. Hang on, that's not what you said, you stupid chugger of chowder. Let's travel back in time 30 seconds, shall we?
No. These days, women know their worth. It's not that every woman thinks that she's a 10 out of 10. It's just that we don't base our value off of what a man thinks anymore.
You're gonna stand there and say that women don't see themselves as 10, but then you go and say that they should see themselves as 10 simply because you think men are stupid. Even if I was drunk, that would still make no sense, especially when you've shown no evidence of your apparent value. What makes you so valuable? You're overconfident, you have the memory of a goldfish, which is the best compliment I can muster about you, by the way, and you're insulting an entire group of people for no reason outside of the fact that you think you're pretty. So where is this value coming from? Because judging from what I've seen, there's only one value that seems to be accurate.
Nothing! Absolutely nothing! Stupid! You're so stupid!
Finding a relationship after 30 is probably one of the best life hacks. Obviously on paper, yeah, it'd be nice to find your partner in your 20s and build that life together while you're building your careers and following your dreams and all that stuff. But that's just not the reality for some people. Many of my close friends did not find their partners until their 30s, some of them even their 40s, and they are living their best lives.
That's nothing to be proud of, Rusty.
Question. Are these friends of yours men? Because men can date in their 30s and 40s and still find meaningful relationships, especially if they've established themselves, made some money, and are ready to move on to the next phase in their life. My next question is, if these friends of yours are women, are they actually in meaningful relationships, or did they just find some college junior who's using her for practice? Because a woman can fool herself into thinking she's living her best life while she's getting her back blown out. That's been known to happen. And if you honestly think that waiting until your 30s to walk down that aisle to the altar is gonna work, then I'm gonna kindly direct you to the cat food aisle instead, because that's the only aisle you're gonna end up walking down.
Be real, like in your 20s, you are stupid and you make stupid decisions like I did when I married my ex-husband at 23 years old. But in your 30s, you are so much smarter, you put up with so much less bullshit, you know what you want, you've figured out where you want to go in life, and you're gonna find a partner that's following that dream and that pathway with you. And I'm sure you are amazing, and if you're single and amazing, There's also going to be other single amazing people out there, or maybe they're just one divorce away from being available. I'm joking, but not really.
You're not funny.
All right, Cow's Breath, you've got it backwards. You're supposed to get married in your early 20s to the man who's going to be the father of your children. And getting married at 23 is not young and stupid. That's supposed to be the typical average age for a bride. Now, I will agree that you are stupid, but that has nothing to do with the fact that you were married at 23. You're in your 30s now, and you've had plenty of experiences with men playing with your beaver trap of festering sores, so now you're thinking you're gonna go off and find that man who's gonna be totally cool with you divorcing somebody for superficial reasons. Self-respecting men don't want a hard-headed woman who's going to treat them like a doormat, and they most certainly do not want a woman who's one glass of Box Merlot away from total infertility. There isn't a self-respecting man out there who wants to marry a woman who's gonna be a hag within 6 weeks of throwing the bouquet, and I'm most certainly not joking.
But my advice is don't compare yourself to other people and their timelines, because you have your own journey and your own timeline, and life is not linear. My advice, from what I've seen with a lot of my friends in their 30s and 40s dating, is continue to live your best life, be your best self, and the right person is going to follow along and want to join you for the ride. If you're still single in your 30s, it means you haven't settled for the wrong person, and that's a win in my book.
Nobody cares what you think.
You see, that's where you're wrong, Toots. A woman's life is linear. It's called fertility. It's that window of time when a woman is physically capable of carrying a baby to term with the most optimal results in regards to survivability. And you only have a finite amount of time before you run out of your eggs and your ovaries give you the proverbial middle finger. And if you're still single in your 30s, then that is a massive red flag. It shows that you're either a terrible judge of character or you have some kind of elaborate backstory as to why. And either way, self-respecting men don't want to deal with that. So you can try and trick yourself into believing otherwise, but you missed the boat. You missed it by a long shot. So now you can go on to living your best life, which I'm assuming involves you doing chair yoga and buying expensive shiny things to fill the ever-growing void in your soul. Good luck with that, by the way.
Okay, I'm back on the dating apps. It's been like 5 months, 6 months since my last relationship. I'm ready to go on a date and possibly meet someone. I have very low expectations. Not standards, but expectations of the pool I'm choosing from, because I have a bazillion likes because y'all just swipe right on everyone, right? That's like the thing men do, I guess. I don't know.
Speak for yourself, moron.
Oh my god, that is funny!
Oh, come on, woman. You do the exact same thing on these apps, except you're way more discriminatory than most men. And is it just me, or does having low expectations sound worse than having low standards? At least if you have low standards, it's implying that you're willing to talk to just about any man, just so long as it means you don't have to live into your 60s by yourself, because let's face it, there's only so many reruns of Law and Order you can watch without having somebody sitting next to you. But if you have low expectations, that means you're expecting something. Things that probably revolve around paying for meals, driving her everywhere, waiting 3 months for bedroom antics, and other superficial crap like that. And personally, I don't think it's wise to be expecting anything when you're single in your 40s.
Whatever. Of those likes, I would find like maybe 5. So you liked me first. I said okay. And then you just don't message. Why?
Idiots! It's simple!
Well, there's several reasons. For starters, they might have been drunk at the time and realized they made a terrible error when they swiped on you. They may be talking to a more attractive woman. Maybe they deleted the apps. Maybe they got their lives together and applied to the prestigious Intergalactic Space Refrigerator Academy. It's also possible that once they saw that they matched with you, they decided to join a monastery out of shame. Perhaps they thought you were a bot. It's also very possible that they wanted you to make the first move because they're sick of being ghosted by broads for no reason. Or once they saw your profile picture, they might have caught a whiff of your desperation and thought it was best to let that particular sleeping dog lie. After all, it's not a scent that's too difficult to detect, because one look at your video and even I can smell the sewage treatment facility.
It's quite pungent.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, it's a formidable scent. It stings the nostrils.
Can we please talk about how unreasonable it is that I'm not allowed to have the men that I want? Because for the past few years, when I have liked a man and I've been properly interested in him, tell me why he has either been an asshole or had a girlfriend or moved to a different country within 3 weeks.
I'll just move to North Korea. I'll just move to North Korea. Okay? Okay. I'll just move to North Korea.
Well, to start, you're selfish. All you're talking about is how unfair it is that you aren't getting with the men that you want, and that the men that you want are either Chad, in committed relationships, or are fleeing the country to escape your clutches. If you had actually stayed in your lane and dated within your market, you probably could have found yourself a decent guy, but it's far too late for that. Your attitude and terrible choices in lipstick have already sealed your fate, and there is no hope for you because you can't imagine reducing yourself into talking to an average Joe, and at this point, even if you did, those dudes would want nothing to do with you simply because most men have met planks of plywood with better personality.
You're boring! You're fucking dull! You have nothing to say! You are a one-hived mind twat waffle!
If I have to fancy someone one more time and vibe with them, and them tell me that they fancy me only for them to finish the sentence with, but I've got a girlfriend. If I have to do that one more time, I swear to you, I'll be celibate for the rest of my life. I will become a nun.
This gives you power over me?
Lady, if that's a threat, it's not a very good one. Your decision to join a convent won't affect anybody, mainly because nobody's gonna care. Chad's gonna see your threat and just shrug it off as he sets up his next side piece. Self-respecting men won't care because they have better things to do than waste their precious 5 seconds playing squishy starfish time with a woman who's only technically more animated than a lifeless corpse. Sure, the simps will care, but those won't count because you don't respect them. Which leaves the nuns. Well, the nuns, if they actually see this video, will most likely reject your request to join the sisterhood because I can't imagine a single church on this planet who's that desperate for new members. Gentlemen and gents, before I sign off on today's video, I just want to take a second to give a quick shout out to Gone with John. He's recently done a video featuring yours truly, and he is a damn good man, a certified gent through and through. I'm gonna leave a link to his channel down below, so go on ahead, check out his channel, give him a subscribe because he's doing some damn fine work. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then let's go ahead and scroll on down, click that like and subscribe button, and ring the notification bell. Let's join together and give a big old middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, and until next time, peace out, homies.